Abraham Lincoln famously said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." And what example of unity could be greater than the church, the literal house of God? The largest house in the world today is the Roman Catholic Church, which believes in the intercession on our behalf by saints, purgatory, sacraments, praying to Jesus' mom, and to vacuum seal their Supreme Pontiff in a Pope-mobile to maintain maximum freshness. Catholicism comes in really handy when people want to live however they want and just reboot with a few Hail Marys every few weeks. However, Martin Luther, the German monk of the 1500s, disagreed on much of Catholicism. He believed man was saved by grace and faith in Jesus Christ himself. So he divided himself from the Catholic Church and naturally was excommunicated and endured threats on his life while founding the Lutherans. Today, American Lutherans are divided into several major church bodies, the largest being the ELCA and the LCMS. And they spend significant amounts of time arguing whether it's okay to allow homosexuals. Of course, these arguments aren't a problem with another Protestant denomination, the Baptists, who apparently came out of the Anabaptists, who were spiritual ancestors of the Mennonites and Amish. You may have heard of the Amish. They're the ones who make delicious meals from scratch, churn butter by hand, scorn the invention of the zipper, and believe natural gas is holy while electricity is not. The Baptists have no such qualms, thank goodness. They love electricity, especially when it comes time to turn the heaters on in the baptismal pool. The Protestant Church is divided on the method for a good baptism. Where the Catholics might dab and the Methodists might sprinkle, Baptists won't be satisfied until you're holding your breath. Baptists also frown on gambling, alcohol, and tobacco, but they're divided with stricter churches who forbid television and movies. And despite the promotion of dance throughout the Old Testament, Baptists are certainly not allowed to dance unless they call it something harmless, like liturgical movement. Methodists, traced back to Reverend John Wesley, who came out of the Anglican Church in the 1700s, love to dance. Methodists remember the saints, put their ministers on sides of the stage, apparently to make more room for God, and are themselves divided into many doctrinal groups: Wesleyan Methodists, United Methodists, Free Methodists, and so on. Not to be outdone, American Baptists really got into the division thing, splitting into Southern Baptists, Free Will Baptists, Full Gospel Baptists, Evangelical Free Baptists, Reformed Baptists, Seventh-day Baptists, United Baptists, Independent Baptists, and many more. One thing the Baptists can agree on is that they're divided with the Assemblies of God, the world's largest Pentecostal denomination. Oh sure, the AOG folks baptize by immersion, but they also embrace the phenomenon of speaking in tongues and are also divided with the Baptists on whether or not you receive the Holy Spirit at the moment of salvation. Baptists say it happens in one serving. Pentecostals require a second helping. Try this experiment. Get a bunch of Protestants into the same room and see how divided they are in almost any biblical topic. Is the Bible literal or metaphor? Which Bible translation is most accurate? Is sickness due to sin or just part of life? Are Christians allowed to be rich or obligated to live meagerly? Is there an unforgivable sin? Can man be demon-possessed? Can you lose your salvation, or are all believers safe forever? Will we rise to an actual heaven, or will the earth one day become heaven? Are you pre-trib, A-trib, or post-trib? Is hell a fiery pit, or just a separation from God? Will it last forever, or is it temporary? You see what we're talking about, right? These are the basics, fundamental tenets of faith. And yet, the church can often only unify on the idea that it's absolutely divided on just about everything. How else do you explain over 33,000 denominations of Christianity alone? Perhaps that's why Abraham Lincoln himself once said, "The Bible is not my book, nor Christianity my profession. I could never give assent to the long, complicated statements of Christian dogma." That's something we can agree on.